Righto, I've been asked a fair bit about crabbing. Probably my number one thing to do is crabbing. I love it. It's only because it's a good feed. So I'm going to just run through now how I do it. I've been on a bit of a 3-day adventure up the river with one of my mates. So what I've done, I've got a heap of food, like some food left over, some fish left over from the trip. So what I'm going to do now is use all that in the crab traps, and hopefully we'll get ourselves a nice crab out of it. So what I've got to do, too easy, there's some nice jewfish fillets, just some sausages and bacon and stuff left over. I'll load them into the trap. I just love to use everything, so even when I'm fishing all my jewfish frames, if I'm going to keep one for a feed, I'll eat the whole thing. Give away a lot of fillets and stuff, and yeah, so everything gets used on this boat. It just I don't like wasting stuff. So now let's run through it. I'll load the traps up. Pretty basic. Just put your, well, I don't even muck around. Everyone likes to run the cages and stuff. I might just put, look, bang, 2 bangers in there, a bit of bacon left over, just roll on the bottom. Do the same there, there's a half cooked one there. Same thing. Couple of fillets, couple of jewfish. I don't really like using jewfish because jewfish is a predatory fish, but I've just using it this time because I've got it left over, so I might as well use it up. It's been sitting in the fridge for 2 days now, and I'm sort of over eating fish I've been eating it for 3 days. Fish, squid and octopus and stuff like that, doing it hard. So that's it. Just basically bait them up, make sure you got your name on the buoys and all the gizmos, make sure you've marked all that, and then we'll run them out. I'll give you a rundown on how I place me traps. This is probably one of the most important part, finding the spot where you think the crabs are going to be. I'll show you how I do it. A lot of people do it different. This is just how I do it, so don't get your bloody knickers in a knot about it. Just I'm going to run traps too, so what I'll do in between traps traps and witches hats, if I'm going to fish, just say I'm doing a night fish up the river for night for a jew or for some flatties, I'll use witches hats because I know I'm going to move around. So what I'll do is put me witches hats out, go get me bait, then I'll pick me witches hats back up, check them, then I'll move the traps to the spot where I'm going to fish, and then I'll fish there for a couple of hours, pick up my witches hats again, and then move. That's the only difference why I use witches hats and traps. So this time I'm going to use traps because I can leave them in the water overnight, and we pick up a nice little bit of a muddy for dinner. Let's go. Righto, so what I've done now, come along a nice bank, have a look at the sounder. So I actually sound up. What I'll do is I'll sound up and make sure, I know there's mullet running through every night, so what I'll do is make sure the mullet is still here, there's a heap of action, and then I'll drop me traps underneath all the fish, because obviously them fish are attacking things and everything's happening all night, and there's all bits and pieces dropping on the bottom. That's where the crabs are going to be, underneath all the fish, people. She's not rocket science, this stuff. Just a bit of knowledge. So that's what I'll do. I'll just come along the bank. Right, this is a nice bank. Don't worry about all this carry on about mud and up mangroves and stuff like that. We're in New South Wales. It's a little bit different. You'll find that the crabs are basically up against the rocks, as you do if you go around the wharfs and the boat ramps and stuff like that. Look against the rocks and see where all the action is. It's in all the rocks. It's not in the weed or in the mud. So that's all I've done now. I've come along a bank, found a bit of action, found a couple of arcs, and the crabs are definitely going to be here underneath them. Let's put them out. Righto, so what I've done now, I'm coming up against the bank, 7 metres, so just check his depth, 7.4, you don't want to drop them then you haven't got enough rope. So I'm at 7.4, 6 metres, that's beautiful. Still double check, 6 metres, well I'm in 5 metres now, so grab your trap, just lock it. Done deal. Double check your depth again, just like That's probably one of the key things, is just triple checking the depth. Make sure you're going to have enough rope out. Come back in a couple of hours and your traps are gone because they've floated down the river in the current. So now what I'll do, I'll come down the river a bit more, probably I don't know, another 50-80 meters. I'll drop my next one in and she'll be on here. Same thing, just move down 50-80 meters I have. In she goes. And don't worry, I'm not really hiding where I am at the moment because crabs move, so you got to be right temperature, right time of year, and they'll move up and down the river. So everyone's going to say, oh, he's at this spot, I know where he is, but they'll move. So next week I might move up the river. So you want to be where the action is, where the fish is. So keep them moving, keep them finding that action on the bottom. You always use your sounder. Your sounder is your key to your whole operation with the fishing. From catching baits to catching big fish, muddying, the sounder's the key. Righto, both my traps are out. What I do now is just run. Just drop the bit of burley around them. Get them in a little bit. So now, time to just kick back for the Arvie. These traps will be in for 2 tides, so it's almost the top of the tide now. Tonight will be a bottom of the tide, and then I'll come and get them the top of the tide tomorrow, and hopefully we can sit back tomorrow, Arvie, and put them on the pots and have a crack of cold beer and eat them. So same thing. Bloody nice day out here too. Come back. Nice, 2 nice chunks around the traps. I'll get them in. Alright, go and sit back and see you this afternoon, or tomorrow afternoon. It's just almost dark now, the sun's about to go down, so we'll pick them up tomorrow, Arvie. Righto, next afternoon. They've gone 2 tides, so they've been in all night, all afternoon, all night, all one full day. So bloody wind's blowing today. It's blowing me around out here a fair bit. Anyway, we'll pick up these traps, eh? So what I've done now, I just ducked over, grabbed myself a little bag of ice, killed 2 birds with 1 stone, cool the beers down. If I get a crab, cool the crab down. Let's go scoop them up, eh? Alright, coming up to the first one. I'll just shut that noisy bugger down. I just use a boat hook, hook it on. The wind's blowing. Woohoo! It's going to knock me up the river here, hold on. I need to get myself a cameraman. Yes, he's blowing a gale today. Alright, here she comes. There she comes. Oh, come on. Oh, there's nothing in it. I'll tell you what, she's hardly been touched. Oh, geez. There's plenty of bait still left in that, so I'm just going to let her. I'm just going to let her soak for another night. Come on, you bugger. We need one. We need one. We're hungry. Yeah. What I'll do is I'll let her soak for another night. There's still a bit of bait in that one. Duck down and grab this one. And I'll just turn it off so I can get in close, and I'll turn this back on. She's a bit blowy out here. I'll just shut that down. Noisy bugger. Yeah, we've had this wind just don't want to stop. But October winds. Good fishing, but just can't get out of the wind lately. So what's happened too, because the tides are so big, that's when you want to crab too. So small tides I like to fish for jewfish. Big tides I like to obviously crab. Alright. What do we got here? No, we're on here. We're on here, people. Oh. Tell you what, that's just a nice crab. I'll just what I'm going to do, save taking him out here. So I'm getting blowed against the bank with this wind, so I'll just get out of safety here, get out in some safety out in the main river, and I'll untangle this monstrosity. I've just noticed, as I was coming out into the, pulling down the bank a bit, what's happened, this one's a buck, the other one's, he's got into it. I'll just move my shadow, hold on, look at that, he's beaten her up and killed her. So was he trying to eat her, or what's going on here? That's a big buck, and yeah, alright, little investigation going to go on here. Alright, straight on ice. He's a cranky little bugger. Alright. Yeah, he's bashed her up. One's claws missing, he's got legs missing, look at that. And then the shell's half gone as well. He's a big buck. He's belted absolute crapper out of her. I've never seen that before, but I'm not complaining, because who's got mud crab for dinner? Anyway, straight on ice. Let's just think about this. What they'll do, he'll go to sleep now because it's nice and cool, so he'll go back to sleep, and then we'll take him back to the vessel and cook him up. Yeah, you're a beautiful thing. Right, I'm back on the boat now. Just to further my investigation, I've never seen this before. She has been absolutely hammered. That's the hole in her head there. Oh, that's a claw mark straight through there. Bloody unbelievable. And this little cranky bugger. Come on, mate. What'd you do? Bash her up, did ya? Little wife bash up. Oh. It's not a bad size. I'll sit him on ice for a couple of hours now and slow him down. That'll slow him up a bit. Oh, he's got a nice claw on him. Look at the size of that. I'll be gnawing into that. Righto, what I've done, pulled them apart. Preference, but I just like to pull them apart. Give them a bit of a rinse off in the salty water. Clean them up, make sure that all the gills and everything are gone, all the brains and everything. And what I'll do is I'll throw it back on ice now. Boil me water, get it nice and hot, and drop them in and ice them up again. So I'll just sit them back in, I'll just sit everything back on ice. Nice cool esky. I'll rinse my bucket out, get me, I'll get me cooker going now and boil them up. Oh. puppies are going to be good. I've had to put her right over here, the cooker, because oh, it probably doesn't, you can't really see it now, but it's blowing a gale, so I'll just hid my little cooker in the corner over here. Sit them in. Once they get really pink, matey, throw them back on ice, and I usually put them on ice with a bit of salt. Them changing there now. Bloody beautiful, nice and red. I haven't got much ice left. I might run over and grab some more. But yeah, I'm just going to cool them back on ice now. I'm going to actually run over and grab another bag of ice. Yeah, that's the second batch going in. I've actually changed my esky setup. I'll run over and get 2 more bags now, but I'll just put them in that little tray. I'll run over and get 2 bags of ice and tip on it, and oh, it's almost sundown. I'll sit here and have a few sundowners and eat mud crab. It's the same water too, so all I've done is obviously just dip the pot in the water, in the river water there. Real salty at the moment, so it's perfection, that water. That's what, even with everything, with the prawns and everything, always just cook everything straight out of the water they come with. Even if it's, you've got it up the river, you've caught prawns up the river or something, or a mud crab up the river, it's not as salty. Just you can add a little bit of salt just to get them, a bit of salt to the water just to get it a bit more salty. But at the moment, this stuff is perfect. Righto, sun's going down. I just went and just threw 2 more bags of ice on me in my esky just to cool these little puppies down. We're about to kick back now and enjoy the day, enjoy the afternoon. Sundowners, mud crab. Bloody beautiful, look at that. The wind's just dropping now, so beautiful. God's country, mate. Righto, only one more thing to do. Kick back and eat this sucker. Hope you've all got something out of this. Beautiful arby. The wind's still blowing a bit, but it'll stop once this sun drops. Like and subscribe, people. Get onto it. Cheers. Hope you've all learned something out of that.